One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back. Hey, you guys want to go see Phil and Friends for 2 nights?
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
You want to go see O'Teal and Friends for 2 nights?
Yeah, but I really want to see Dark Star Orchestra too.
You want a heady shakedown street?
That'd be really dope.
Okay, I got one place we can go for all this.
Where?
Skull and Roses, man. Down in Ventura, California, April 19th through the 23rd at the hallowed grounds of the Ventura County Fairgrounds. Skull and Roses is back this year with one hell of a lineup, including all those bands I just mentioned: Dogs in a Pile, Circles Around the Sun,
Moon Alice,
Latin Dead,
Boombox.
I mean, that's not it. That's a truncated list. If you want to find out all the bands that are playing,
it'd take about 3 minutes to read.
Yeah,
all
don't
the
do
bands.
that.
But can I just say one thing, though? I do want to
Sure.
mention this.
Please.
Phil and Friends this year is coming with his friends from Tab, featuring Natalie Cressman, James Casey, and Jennifer Hartswick.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes, they are.
Okay. So
What?
check this out. Go to skullandroses.com. They are offering all kinds of different ticket prices, VIP packages, and all that. And it's 5 days down in California in the sunshine, hanging out with your Grateful Dead family.
Guess what too?
It's
What?
on what, Apple?
It's going to be on 420.
Oh.
On the Thursday day is 420.
And you know where else it's on?
Where?
The beach.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
like the beach.
So down that highway where ocean breezes blow, come hang out with the No Simple Road crew and your Grateful Dead family at Skull and Roses Festival, April 19th through the 23rd. Tickets now at skullandroses.com. We're heading into Super Bowl Sunday. Oh, I said it.
You can't say
we're
that.
heading into the big game
big
day
game.
of
The
Sunday.
big game.
And if you're having friends over to the house, nothing goes down better at that super game party than chicken wings from Fire on the Mountain.
That's right.
Order them. They actually travel well with delivery, so you could get them delivered and have them hot and ready to go at your house for the big game party. Or you could just go over to one of the 3 locations here in Portland, or 2
For
of the
pickup,
locations
right?
in Denver. What,
That's
Apple?
right.
You held up the finger.
Oh, I just don't know if they're delivering. They're doing orders for pickup, for sure.
Well, you can get wings delivered through DoorDash and stuff like that too.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
She'll be right.
Well, at the Burnside location, their new sauce is the El Guapo sauce and the Mojito Lime Dry Rub.
And at the Interstate location, they have the El Nino sauce and Peter Piper's Pink Peppercorn Dry Rub.
I like that one. And at the Fremont location, they got the Pimenta Granada sauce and the Nashville hot dry rub.
That Nashville hot dry rub is nothing but delicious, man. It made my cheeks and my earlobes sweat.
It made my eyeballs fog up.
And then, of course, they've got their new food specials at all the locations.
Yeah, so go check it out. You can go to portlandwings.com and see what's going on over there. You can order sauces if you're not in Portland or Denver. You can get Fire on the Mountain merch in those places as well. And hey, man, whatever team you're rooting for, it always goes better if your team wins or loses if you have something good in your belly. So go check out Fire on the Mountain. I'm feeling a Grateful Dead-ish type motif here in the commercial section of the show because our next sponsor is the one and only
Shop Tour Bus.
That's right. Shop Tour Bus has the online lot's most amazing, groovy, and coolest t-shirts, hoodies, and stickers ever that you've ever laid your dilated pupils on.
And they've got a really super adorable, dope new design.
But is it cute?
It's adorable. It's so cute. And it's bound to cover just a little more ground. And it is a 1971 Beetle.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
All right. So if you want to see the cuteness that Mel's talking about, go to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. They are going to send this to you in an all-over print box with a bunch of extras on the inside, and some of you are going to get a Miracle Grateful Dead bootleg cassette tape.
Yes.
Do you want to know? Yeah, go ahead, Apple.
Guess what you might get with that bootleg, too?
What?
They stepped it up a notch, and they got their own pencils. For
That's
those
right.
of you that don't remember the days of cassettes when they would get messed up, you'd have to take a pencil and wind it tight so it would play right and not get stuck in your tape deck.
So we have special Shop Tour Bus pencils that are coming out
And
with
it
these.
says, let my inspiration flow.
Okay.
That's
In token
dope on a
rhyme.
pencil. Let it flow
Yeah.
from the pencil.
I like it. So go to shoptourbus.com and hey, check this out. They are giving the No Simple Road family free shipping. When
Free
you
shipping.
Use the promo code
No Simple Road.
All one
word.
When you check out, they are going to give you free shipping. It's going to come to you in that hand design, or I'm sorry, not in the hand design, in the all over print box. You can, if you want, request a hand designed one of a kind box. It'll come to you with a Grateful Dead lyric on the inside if you don't want one of those all over print boxes. But anyway, you get the idea. You see what I'm talking about. Go to shoptourbus.com. Use the promo code No Simple Road.
Do it.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
Simple Road. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. All right. Let me get comfortable. Welcome.
Are you comfortable?
Welcome to No Simple Road, coming to you live from the freezer. That's right. The freezer. We
Step into our freezer.
decided to finally step into it because Trey has been asking us for years to step into the freezer, and this week we decided to because our heat broke in our house. Hey now, No Simple Road family, how you doing this, Aaron?
This is Mel.
Oh, and this is Apple. I thought I was a polar bear until it's cool when it's like cold outside.
And then you can go in the
when
house
you
and get warm.
expect to come inside and be cozy, and it's almost the same temperature as outside. And
They
it's
don't
like,
know what's happening, though.
It's like high 20s, low 30s at night right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fucking cold.
It's cold in the house, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, it's all cute. The first day when the heat broke, I was like,
okay, guys, everybody, our furnace broke. That's what's not being said.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
I said the heat broke 3 times.
Okay. Yeah. He said it right up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, the first day is fine because the heater was on and the house is okay.
Yeah.
And then
the second day is like kind of like an adventure. Like, okay, we're having a little adventure. Another day. And now it's like, damn, it's cold. I mean, we do have space heaters in our rooms, but
it's just
once you come out of your, it's like walking out of a bear cave into the freezing winter in the hallway.
Hey man, I'm going to say this. I've been homeless in my life, so I'm just glad that we have a roof over our head and it's a little warmer in here than it is outside.
This is true.
And we get to bring the No Simple Road family something special this week.
That's what we're
That's
doing.
right.
We get to bring you all One Time Weekend.
One time weekend.
If you don't
Woo-woo.
already know who One Time Weekend is, well, you do now. Yep, that's all I
Uno
have to
tiempo fin de semana.
Yeah, that is how you would say it in Spanish, Mel. Yep, that's right. One Time Weekend.
Right on.
They are an incredibly talented up and coming band that is there. You said they were supporting Twiddle.
Yeah, they're supporting Twiddle's tour, and it's Distance Makes the Heart tour. So you can go on their Instagram and find out the dates for that. Their new album, Fire It Up, is streaming worldwide for everybody's entertainment. And they're doing all kinds of stuff. They're going to be Wednesdays at Nectar SVT in Burlington, Vermont. So they were there on the 1st. They're going to be there on the 1st of March. And then they're going to be there on the 5th of April. And then, of course, check back with them for in-between dates.
Yeah, and they got dates in April where they're with Kendall Street Company, who we've had on the show and
we
love.
love Kendall
They actually
Street.
came and stayed with us. The Dopapod. They're going to be supporting Pigeons playing ping pong.
Love some
and
pigeons.
then come end of June, beginning of July, they are going to be at the Peach Music Festival.
Uh-oh.
We
Just
are gonna
like
play with them.
somebody I know.
Like us.
Like us. We're going to be at the same place, same time. What?
You know, I don't typically do this, but they have on their website, they have a really good about. And I don't really ever do this, but I'm going to read it to you guys.
We've done it 1 or 2 times
Yeah.
before when it feels right.
We groove, you move is the mantra of One Time Weekend, the innovative shred funk Connecticut quartet bringing driving grooves with a melodic and progressive edge to the universe. One Time Weekend is known for their live shows delivering a high energy musical experience at every performance as twin lead guitarist Adam Etan and Zach Mulcahy shred over bassist and lead vocalist Ian D'Arcangelo's funky bass lines and dynamic vocals, while Ben Bino Sullivan mans the pocket, holding it all down with his rhythmic energy, all of which keeps OTW Nation grooving and moving. Have you heard? Have you?
I have.
You have now.
I have heard.
Yes, you have. And you've also heard that our heater broke. So that's 2 things that you learned today.
You guys are in the know.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're up to speed.
Well, yeah.
You're in the circle of trust.
Can you milk me, fucker? Anyway, anybody have anything to report to the fam right now? Anything?
Anything to report?
Besides the cold
Well, I was
thing.
going to add one more thing because I always do
No.
this. You go on over to YouTube to catch some live performances of these guys and to watch their new video for Power Trip. It's a trip. It's really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Just
Apple.
do it.
I actually do have something this week. That's why I said I wanted to see if you guys had anything, but I actually do. I have a PSA this week. I do.
Okay.
And I'm serious.
The opinions of Aaron Schaefer do not reflect the opinions of No Simple Road, Melanie, or Apple.
Okay.
Mel,
that's fine.
Mel, this is serious.
No, it's fine. She may not feel this way, but we this past weekend we talked with LPGOB. And if you don't know who she is, go check her out. She's a DJ that remixed Garcia's album, and she's doing amazing things musically. And something that she said really bothered me afterward, and it's been bothering me all week
Since.
and I haven't really been able to get it off my mind. I gave it a day, and because I was going to go on Instagram and do a rant, and I was like, I'm going to wait a day and see how I feel.
Sleep on it.
And it's been a few days now, and I still am thinking about it, and it's really bothered me ever since we spoke to her. And what she said to us basically is that, like, first of all, you need to know that she grew up with deadhead parents. This woman is from deep-rooted Oregon Country Fair family and understands the gravity and the depth of what the Grateful Dead is.
Well, she doesn't know anything different because she grew up with
It's
it.
her whole
She
life.
said she's been going to fair since she popped out of the womb.
Yep.
Yep.
And she, no matter where she is in the world, she will come back for fair and then go back
to wherever she is.
Yeah.
So she decided, she had the Garcia Foundation reached out to her to see if she would do the thing. And she had received some stems, and she was really like trying to be reverent and do it justice and do her remix with love and intention and really put it out there the right way. And the comment that she made to us was, I have never had my feelings hurt by a community as I did by this one. And as somebody that's like older now and been part of the Grateful Dead community for 30 plus years, it was fucking embarrassing and made me sad and angry. And people were sliding into her DMs to tell her how shitty her music was, their opinion, and saying rude and mean shit to her. And to me, man, that is the opposite of what this community is supposed to be. Now, I understand that all music isn't everybody's cup of tea, and that's cool. That's what gives us different music. If all music was the same, this shit would be boring. We wouldn't be doing this show. Totally get it. But if that music isn't for you, listen to something else and shut the fuck up. Seriously. Because when you do that, you're going against everything that the Grateful Dead community stands for. The first rule of the Grateful Dead community is, are you kind? Don't be a dick. And that is just giving us all a bad name. And it like left a bad taste in my mouth all week, that out of all the stuff, and she's done a lot of things musically with a lot of different music styles. Out of all the stuff that she's done in her whole life, this community is the one that's been the shittiest to her. And that's the one that she came from. And that really bothered me. So in the future, if you're one of those people that does that shit, why don't you think twice, man? It's just not okay. You don't know what's in somebody's heart. You don't know what the reason that they're doing something. You don't know where they came from or their intention. You're just commenting on what you see out in the world because you think you can, because of social media. You know what I mean? And it's just not
snap
okay.
Judgment.
And it hurts, man.
I like what you said. It's embarrassing. It was embarrassing, and it felt bad. And I told her too. It's like, because I've known some. We all know some of those people, and most of the people that do that, like Aaron just said, they don't listen to the music, or if they do, they don't give it more than 8 or 10 seconds and make a snap judgment. They don't research who the artist is. Like, she is a dope artist. She's been playing piano since she was a little girl. She's very talented, and it was embarrassing to hear her hurt by her family.
Yeah. That was the part of it that got me. Like, she's from this family.
Yeah.
And this is the one that did her dirty. But on the flip side of that, and I don't want to ruin the interview with her, but
Yeah, no, that was
on the flip side
got
of
it.
that, we came correct at playing in the sand. I'll say that. And
So you got to listen to the episode to hear.
yeah.
I get it. Like, not all the music is for all of us. Some of us don't like dance music and EDM and electronica, and I get it, man. It's not for everybody.
That's why we have choices.
That's right. But there's no reason for any of us to slide into an artist's DM and give them shit like that.
It's kind of like the opposite of if anybody listened to the Maurice Tanny episode, and he was talking about if you like an artist, share your feelings with them because that's why they're doing it. And, if you're sharing something that's just hurtful, that also stops them. It can like stop that motivation or that progress or make them think twice about doing something that they may not have thought about twice. Like maybe they're just like creating and being pure about it, and then you throw some salt in their game, and then all of a sudden now
It's ruined.
the artist is like, well, should I fucking put this out? Do people want to hear it? Like, does it matter? And with what she was doing, like she was trying to do her literal best because she was like trying to impress her parents, trying to impress the community that she grew up in, and then to not feel like it was good enough or that it, no matter what she did, it just wasn't seen how much energy she, really put into it. And that sucks, man.
So
to have to feel like
the
that.
positive is that most people dig her and everything, but the thing, like everybody has had that happen in life. You can get 100 compliments.
Oh yeah.
And that one shitty person that decides to try to cut you down is
Why
the one.
do you think that is, Apple?
It's one oh shit cancels 10,000 out of
Because
But do you know what I mean?
we're
'Cause you
fragile.
we're fragile.
We're human beings, and it hurts when somebody say like constructive criticism. Like, you know what, that was dope, but I think like if you did this or something, like that's a different thing. But to be like, you fucking suck, you're lame.
Go die.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, and those, they can get blurred very quickly, the constructive criticism versus just nasty kind of like, you suck for no reason.
My point in saying all that is
be kind.
Be kind, man. It's one rule. It's really easy. Just be nice to each other. It's super simple. The whole world will be a better place. Don't be an asshole, okay? Peepaw Aaron says don't be a dick, all right? That's my PSA for this week, so you're welcome. Go to nosimpleroad.com. Check out all we have going on over there. You can get No Simple Road merch there. You can sign up for the newsletter. You can get a tarot reading from Mel and I with the Grateful Dead tarot deck. You can go to you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at No Simple Road. You can go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. And you know what? Producer Corey has been working his fingers to the bone producing these side roads for our patrons only. So if you want to check that out, you are going to have to sign up for at least $1 a month on Patreon. And what that does is that helps us continue to do the show. That. And you know what? The $5 patrons get access to the Discord channel, and there's a bunch of stuff going on over there. And Patreon has been revamped.
I was just thinking the other day too, like I drive an environment. Well, most of us have cars and drive them. I easily have more than $5 loose change in my center console and on the floor and everything. That's not a lot of money to pay for something that gives you entertainment and laughs and joy.
I agree with you about the monetary value part, but I would hazard to guess most folks nowadays don't have change in their cars. You are very special because you deal all in cash because of your
that's
work.
true. I forget.
I haven't had change. I have not had change in my pocket.
Okay, I'll tell you
years.
what. If you want to join Patreon and you have change in your car, give me your address. I'll come over and I will clean the change up out of your car for you.
Right on.
And put that towards Patreon.
Right. So that's patreon.com/No Simple Road. If you want to do something that doesn't cost a single red cent, go on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. You just go on there, you search for the show, you click on it, you scroll down, it says leave a review, you hit the 5 stars, you leave the little review, and then we read it on the show, and then we're happy.
But what if my thumb hurts?
Then use your index finger.
You can also use the voice, right?
You can.
And we don't have a new one this week.
Oh,
I'm cold, and we don't have a review.
Sucks, come on, time's a ticking.
February is a month about love.
We did finally break 400 5-star ratings, though.
We did.
Yeah, 402.
Damn.
Right
All right. Thanks, you guys. Appreciate that. So who's going to be our February Valentine?
It's you.
That's right.
Oh, we do need a Valentine.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the review thing. You can call 971-808-1524. That is the No Simple Road Tepid line. That is open mic night. So call in, do whatever you want. Give us a show review, tell us a joke, tell us a story. I don't know. It's open mic night. It's up to you. 971-808-1524. Right?
Yeah.
Did I leave anything else out?
That's just fun. You can do whatever you want.
Just that you guys should listen to One Time Weekend, and you're about to in a second, but also when you're done with this or before you listen to the interview, stop it. Go on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, Apple Music, and check out One Time Weekend.
And go follow them on the social
Instagrams
medias.
and all that.
Yep. Check out their live performances on YouTube. They got from last year. They have their whole set from Peach Festival.
It's fucking amazing.
Yep.
So that is the business. That was us with a broken heater, us introducing you to One Time Weekend, me yelling at everybody.
Aaron with the PSA about basically being kind.
Yep. And
Be nice.
and then the business. So here we go. We're going to get you to the interview. So without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
One Time Weekend.
biding their time. Some would say it's a climb. Open up your mind to pigs in the sky, feeding you lies. They've come to take our lives.
What's going on?
Now you're coming in really good now.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah.
I like your studio too.
Yeah, nice studio.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yes, this is where we track our album. It's mobile.
So, who do we have here with us today?
Ian and Adam.
Ian and Adam. What's up, guys? I'm Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. Nice to meet you, Aaron. Nice to meet you.
I'm Mel, guys.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
And then I'm Apple.
Apple. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
So,
do people ever ask you if you like apples? Like you like apples, man?
Oh yes,
all the time.
Yeah. And living in the Pacific Northwest, there is such a variety of apples in the Pacific Northwest. It's always a new one. So it's amazing. I do love apples.
You ever stay holding your tongue?
Try it. I have a red apple. Try it.
No,
Try it.
that old one. No, it used to be. Your mom has a big red shiny apple. Oh.
Well, welcome to the show, guys.
Sorry, Mom.
Appreciate having you on, man. And we have been really, really digging what you do. And
yeah,
that I have to say, we're super bummed because we were all at Peach together last year, and we didn't get to see your set.
And that set was amazing. I watched it again last night, and I mean that was a hell of a set you guys put on there. But we're going to be there again this year, and it looks like you guys are too. So, we have another chance.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah. They're
we'll see you there.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you there.
So
yeah, Saturday night on the same stage.
Were you?
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Maybe
we might be doing something there at some time.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
yes, it's a wish.
So, I mean, going to Peach was a huge deal for us, you guys. Like that festival, we're from the West Coast, so that festival has always been kind of iconic to us, especially with the lineups that happen every year. And like getting the opportunity to do that was a huge thing. And our experience was incredible. Like from the music that was there to the way it was run, all the shit, like it just converged in like this perfect 3 days of awesomeness. For you guys, how was your experience playing that? And what was it like playing that set?
It was amazing.
Mm.
Seriously amazing. I mean, like, I didn't really know much about it or much about Montage Mountain, like, before we got there. But, like, your first impression when you first arrive is like, wow. It's really, really, really cool. And then, like, just the bill is incredible. Like, we're all huge, like, Goose fans. So being able to see them as the headliner was really cool. And then our set was incredible. I mean, playing for, a large crowd that was super, super responsive, super receptive to what we were doing, and just like super loving and encouraging after the show was just like, I don't know. It was really cool. It was most likely my favorite show we played last year.
Wow.
Yeah,
That says a
I
lot.
have to say the same. Yeah. Yeah, you pretty much covered it. It was so special. Like, I think for us, I mean, we've been at this for like 7 years now, and for us getting to have that be our first major festival play was like, I don't know, we've been kind of like chomping at the bit for a while now, so it definitely felt like it was a chance to let it all out and put on a really good show.
I mean, you guys did. You really came out with a lot of energy, and even in like the video, you can feel that shit coming through, and
the crowds were amazing there. I love that you had good like crowd control when you got everybody to get down with you and stuff. That was amazing. And you guys got trippy with the instruments and the effects and everything. I had a question too. I'm just curious because the thing that made me think of it too is the Power Trip video. I just watched that last night. I realized, did it just get released yesterday?
Like yesterday, yeah.
Okay, so last night when I put it on, okay, that is such a funny, like, good video. I love at the end where it ends and he immediately goes to the phone and is like, Mom, I just want to call and say I miss you. But my question is the panda bear thing related to your crowd or something? Because I saw it in the video where he fights the panda bear, but then also the panda bear thing that was in the crowd at your guys' show at Peach. Is there a connection there?
Yeah, so when we were like, oh God, I don't even know, 17 or 18, we were, just like young, full of energy, trying to like figure out a way to make ourselves different than all the other bands. And and we were like, hey, like, how can we dress our stage up in a way that's going to be really cool? And we kind of went around, like, I went to Goodwill one day and I found this wooden panda bear. And there was really nothing special about it, but it was $2. And I was like, I can't pass up on this. I grabbed it, bought it. And then our friend Corey Payne, who's like a phenomenal artist, he's done stuff for ESPN. He did our first album cover. He decided to like paint it, or we asked him to paint it. He decided to paint it in a certain way where it's like purple and pink, and it's not really like, looks like a traditional panda. And ever since then, we've had that on our stage pretty much every show since then. And it's kind of become this like little weird mascot for us. And it really means nothing other than like, it's a decision that we made.
Okay. I love it, man.
Yeah. And so, flash forward to now, and the panda has just sort of become like a little icon that can represent the band.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
I love nonsense that becomes something.
What a
that's-
non-threatening, adorable thing to have as a mascot.
Psychedelic panda.
Where are you guys based out of?
We're all from around like Collinsville, Connecticut, which is like a sub town of Canton. So if you're basing us out of a city, then that city is Hartford.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, Ian, not originally, but Ian lives in Hartford now, and the rest of us are probably 20 to 30 minutes from him.
Yeah, it's about 30-minute drive from Hartford. It's not too far.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about how One Time Weekend got together and like the origins of the band, because we've all noticed your spin on influence, and you can hear it in the band, and it's fucking cool what you guys are doing.
You guys do really have such a fun, cool way of changing what style you're playing that all seems super authentic to what you're doing. It doesn't sound like, oh no, we're going to play this kind of song. It all sounds like it's jointed together, but it's all different, and it's so interesting to feel, you know, in one sitting, to take all that music, and it's very interesting to kind of feel that.
And when I hear bands like that, I'm like, I want to know how these guys came together.
Ian will do the origins.
Okay.
I'll do the influence.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
It's a two-parter, yeah.
Yeah.
So Origin, well, let's go back to 2015.
Okay.
It was myself. So there's myself, Ian, Adam, our drummer Ben, and our guitarist Zach. And Zach is the youngest, but I met Zach in maybe 2012 or so, when he was like 14, and or it might have been 13. And I went to my neighbor's house to like jam, because he had like a little basement set up, and that's where all the kids went to go hang out and jam. And Zach was there, and he was this tiny little kid with like a Les Paul, absolutely like shredding the guitar solo to Freebird. And when you're 14, that song just like hits you really hard. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It still does, but like it definitely hit harder back then. And I remember being like, "Who is that?" And then turns out later that Zach and I actually went to kinder music classes together back when we were really little.
Oh shit.
But we never remembered that. Our parents were like, "Hey, I remember that family from blah, blah, blah." So that's kind of a funny story, but just small town things. But anyway, so Zach like stayed in touch with me throughout the years. And then in 2015, he messaged me on Facebook and was like, "Hey man, I'm trying to put together a group. Wanted to know if you wanted to come by and play bass." And I was like, "I would love to." Met at this guy, Ben Sullivan's house, who I had no idea who he was. Turns out he's a sick drummer. And the three of us got together in his bedroom. And we just used to run like ZZ Top songs, like maybe like 80% of the song over and over again. Like, we never actually learned the whole thing, but we just jammed out, had a great time, and quickly started writing like our own music instead of learning covers.
Right.
Like that never really was something we did early on. And then they knew Adam through school.
Yeah, I went to school with Ben and Zach, the two guys that are not here. We all went to the same high school.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
so one day, I forget how it came to be, but maybe one of them ran into you.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I ran into Ben at like a mini high school party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he asked you to come by for a rehearsal.
That's verbatim exactly what happened.
And then he did, and we just were like, okay, like this is definitely a good fit for this band.
How do you know? How do you know when I mean, because you can jam with a lot of different people. How do you know when the fit's right?
Like there's a checklist of things. I think maybe underratedly important is like how the band meshes together, like personality wise, and if we can be friends, if we can like joke around and have a good time together, we can just kind of chill together. That's a big thing to it. And then musically, it all kind of made sense. Like we were all like pretty much on the same level. We were able to play the same style of music. Maybe not necessarily like the same style of music, but like we're able to be proficient like in the same style. And yeah, it just worked. I mean, I think after about maybe a month of us jamming together and having played like a show or two, that's when they asked me to join the band, and I gladly said yes.
Oh yeah, we made him play.
It didn't take
You're gonna
Make
join
them
our
sick,
band.
Make them sweat.
yeah.
I think we asked you before our first like big show was the 2016 Avon Avon High School Battle of the Bands.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't go to Avon High School. Zach didn't go to. None of us went to Avon High School. Ben was in college, and we won. We won that shit, man.
You did.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, yes, we certainly won.
And the funny thing is, I started playing bass because in middle school, I wanted to enter the middle school battle of the bands, and my band lost terribly.
Oh.
But I learned the bass for it because I was like, this would be really cool.
Wow. All right.
So your dream came true, just not when you wanted it to.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got an unrelated question. Are you guys safe where you're at? Where you guys are like watching around you. Are you safe?
No, yeah, there's on this side we have cars, and on this side we have pedestrians.
Okay.
Okay.
But we're good. We're
I don't
good.
want you
We're
dying. I don't want one time weekend dying during our interview.
I was gonna say if you needed to move and we need to
That would
pause.
be ins-
I'm gonna move to the side street here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might be one.
Okay, I just saw you guys looking like, are we cool here, man? Is this
Now we're cool. Now we've got
okay? We
pedestrians.
don't want to put anybody in peril.
They played that dope Peach set, and then they went on No Simple Road, and that was
And that
the
was
end.
it. That was it.
That was it. Yeah, the road got cut short. Anyway, going back to your question, I'll cover the influence thing and the kind of music that we all like because we all pretty much like different things. I'm like a super metalhead at heart. Like I love metal. My favorite band of all time is Metallica. And that's like all I ever really practiced up until I joined this band. Like I didn't really mess around in any other genres. I just like really, really loved practicing metal specifically. What kind of music do you like?
I don't really know if I have a specific genre that I like, but I definitely grew up listening to 102.9 and 102.1, like the two classic rock stations in our area. And classic rock was huge. My dad was always playing the Allman Brothers, the Doors, the Beatles was like a huge part of my childhood. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of always liked songs that I liked. You know what I mean? It was
Right.
never like, oh, I'm only going to listen to this or that. But yeah, a little bit of everything.
And then speaking on behalf of the other two, I mean, nowadays, Zach, it's really funny because this actually does find its way into our music. Zach is really big on like electronica and EDM.
Mhm.
Like he loves like EDM pop and like just party music, which is kind of funny. But growing up, I know that he liked Hendrix. He liked like the Shreddy guys. He was a big classic rock fan. And I think honestly, Ben is similar. Like Ben is really into like Rush and Styx.
Oh wow.
And I know that nowadays, I think I've, without him knowing, I think I may have influenced him to like heavier music now because he likes band like he likes like Alter Bridge
Yeah.
and like what else does he like? Heavier stuff.
You know, it's a trip to me, man. Like you guys are in your mid to late 20s, yeah? Early 20s?
Mid 20s,
Yeah.
Mid 20s. We range from what 22 to 25 right now. Or
Yeah.
23 to 25.
And you're talking about bands that him and I grew up with as your influence. It's so weird to me that like the impact of bands like Rush and Metallica and Styx can have even now. And the thing that's really cool about what's going on with the music scene in our world right now is that you guys have all that stuff as like foundation, but then there's all this other really amazing shit that we put on top of it because we didn't have that, right? So you guys have this whole other layer that you have to influence you, and what's coming
There's a
out,
lot to be inspired from.
yeah, a lot, and what's coming out is a new thing. What you guys are doing is not derivative of anybody else. One Time Weekend is its own thing, and the music that's coming out is its own kind of music. I mean, I could say, like I said earlier, that I hear influence, right? But you hear that with people like Goose or Trey or anybody. It's its own thing. Is it hard for you guys to like, I guess not hard. Is that something that just comes out naturally when you're in your writing process, like just doing your thing, that because of those influences, that's what's coming out?
First of all, thank you. That's extremely nice to say. That's definitely something that we try to do, is to not sound too much like something.
No.
So you telling us that means a lot. Thank you.
Cool.
I don't know.
It's funny. Well, first off, speaking from an observational standpoint, I think Zach is probably one of the most unique songwriters I've ever heard. His brain is so like he just like combines everything that he possibly can into one song, and it creates like songs like Gandalf. That's all Zach. Like it's just really, really interesting songwriting. But when I'm writing, it's funny. I actually will get really inspired by like a specific song, and I'll be like trying to write that song and ultimately failing and coming up with something that is completely my own. Like I think my uniqueness comes from being bad at copying. So it's just kind of a silver lining to that, I guess. But I think all of us, for the most part, just have our own styles of writing. Like it is very indicative of what we listen to, though, I think.
And we have 3 writers that are like the music that Ian writes and that I write and that Zach writes are nothing like each other. Not even close. And so often like our 3 styles kind of mesh into one.
Yeah.
Like it's not that common for like one of our songs to be written by just one person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adam, what is it about playing stuff like Metallica that you enjoy? You know, like, because other like certain kinds of music can be fun to play. What is it about, you know, that kind of music that you really dig?
I really like the aggressiveness and how it's just very high energy and also very high. It requires a lot of energy to play. It's just very, I don't know. It's very satisfying.
Yeah.
It's shredding. I'm glad Mel brought it back to Metallica, because I just got to tell you, just real quick, the first time I ever heard Metallica in my life, this has got to be like 45
years
ago. It's like 82 or something. One of my friend Doug had an album that he came home. It was Creeping Death on vinyl, and he's all, here, dude. I'm gonna let you borrow this. You need to go home and listen to this. This is so dope. I went home. It's the size of a 33. I didn't know you were supposed to play it on 45. So I put it on, and it's like my mother was a witch. She was
this shit
burned.
sucks.
I was like, this reminds me of like Celtic Frost or something. Like someday, I was like, it's dope, but it's like a death dirge. And I told him the next day I go to take the album. I was like, it was cool, dude, but it's just like, and he starts cracking up and he's like, oh my God, dude, it's a 45. And he put it on his record player, played it at the right speed, and I was like, oh, okay, this is fucking amazing. Holy shit. Who is this guitar player? Who is this? But it was fun. I was like, how's he listening to this slow shit? Not even realizing the speed.
Well, there's something cathartic too, like playing aggressive, hard, fast music it's getting that shit out. Like all the tension and stress of just, look, man, let's be honest. Being alive on planet Earth is fucking hard. It's weird, it's hard, and it's scary, and it's fun, and it's all that. And to be able to play like that and get that shit out, it's gotta be like soothing in a weird kind of a way.
Existential relief.
Yeah, yeah, totally,
yeah.
100%.
Honestly,
yeah,
that's a great way to put it.
That's a great way to put it for sure.
To play it in particular is fun. It's just to play it. Like we have sections in our songs that are pretty heavy, and when those sections come up in our songs, like they're really, really fun because we like bounce all around the stage. Yeah, lots of head banging. It's really pick the guitars way harder, hit the frets way harder. It's just like, you're right. It's like a total release.
Yeah,
it's also really cool to see people react to that too.
Yeah,
because it's fun to play it and record it, but then it's a whole nother thing to play it live and to see that like that unified kind of just like, because not everyone wants to dance, but usually everyone can bang.
Yeah, can just bang.
You know what I mean?
Make like a face.
Yeah.
So
and you're like, damn, are they liking it or are they hating it? I can't tell.
Is that guy sick?
Yeah.
The stank face. I think if you see the stank face, you know you're doing good.
So I'm curious, like, especially playing the lineup at Peach, there was a pretty broad range of music there, but like, I wouldn't say One Time Weekend is a jam band, right? at all.
Mhm.
But on the bill, sharing the bill with a lot of jam bands, and that's kind of the world that you guys are in. Do you find that strange?
That's a wonderful question.
Yeah,
We do. I mean, we do jam. We like to jam.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We even in the songs we write now, there are jam sections.
I mean, I kind of think of it like Pearl Jam wasn't a jam band, but everyone thinks they're a jam band. You know what I mean? Like it's just sort of this. Not that I'm comparing us to Pearl Jam, but like there's this hard rock element to it, but it also leaves room for experimentation. But that's not the focal point of the show. And also, some of our songs tend to be more complex in terms of length and in terms of like some of the writing. So there is that jam band-esque feel to it. But I also think this is the scene that is most accessible to us right now because we are sort of a unique band that wouldn't necessarily fit in the rock scene. Which also, if you know where that is, let me know. I'd love to find it.
I also like the jam scene. I like the people and the bands that we play with. Like, there's some really great music. There's a lot of talent, and it's a very like loving and accepting scene. Like, we've all met some really great people,
and people come in with an open mind too, which I think is the biggest part. You know, people are like, "Oh, that's weird and different. I'm not going to turn away. I'm actually going to open my ears up a little more and listen to it."
Yeah.
So,
I think the jam band, it's gotten to be such a broad, like most genres. Because I like looking back at your guys' Instagram and like seeing, you know, what you've done. I was really happy to see like that you guys have played with La Special. I love those guys.
Yeah.
They're one of my favorites. And like Pigeons playing ping pong. And then one of the things which I hate, Aaron's always like don't compare bands to other bands, to people,
dude,
but when I do it like the first thing when I first heard you guys a little while ago, one of the first things that came to mind was Humphreys McGee, because Humphreys is not rock, they're not jam, they so carefully span all of that, and they take you like you guys do. It's like a constantly changing musical journey of it. One moment it's almost like island sounding music or something, and like, you know, but Humphrey, especially with you two on the guitar, with, you know, Zach and you on the guitar, the back and forth reminded me a lot of like Humphreys and the metal. Like you tease there's a lot of stuff dropped in there. It's like little teases of stuff almost. And it's like, God damn,
that old nerds like us are here.
Yeah. They're like, oh, fuck yeah. I heard those 3 notes from fucking Iron Maiden or something. Yeah. Like, you know, I love it, man. And it's one of the first things that came to mind, but then listening more and more. And the same thing too, like listening to a studio album is dope. You hear that polished, like what you're going for, but then it always comes down to live. Seeing a lot of your guys' live stuff is just, you have so much fun with it and with the crowd and with each other. It's just amazing.
Do you guys like being in the studio?
Yeah. I like doing anything musical, honestly.
I love it.
What's cool about being in the studio that as opposed to like doing it live?
Well, actually, before I answer that question, we just recorded an album. It's coming out in like 6 days.
Yeah, next week.
It's next Friday.
Okay.
Next Friday.
Congratulations, guys! That's freaking a huge deal.
Yeah, we are really, really, really excited. So the way that we did it for this past album is that for the first time we did it ourselves. I had kind of like accrued enough sound engineer skill to be able to finally, you know, do everything, and like we all just kind of collaboratively did these sessions. And so I especially liked it this time because we had no time crunch whatsoever. We weren't being charged, you know, by the hour. Which, I mean, tracking in a studio is wonderful, but it's like it's time sensitive. So we had as much time as we wanted, you know, because we hadn't set any deadline. We had as much time as we wanted to try things. You know, just try things and experiment and just have fun with it. And it was like, you know, as the more time went on, the more and more the songs developed. And after a while, we had products with every one of the 12 songs that we really, really liked. And then like beyond that, I guess another reason why I personally like the studio is because like it's just complete creative control over everything, which is really cool. It's like not like nobody, like we mixed our album ourselves. So we got to control
You got to give Adam credit on that. He mixed
Shout
the whole
out,
thing.
Adam.
Yep.
Good
Wow,
job.
dude.
I haven't heard it, but I know it'll be great.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, complete creative control over absolutely everything. And of course, like I would run almost everything through the band, and more often than not, they liked it, and then we took it and kind of ran with it. And we're all very, very proud and very excited to release this thing. It's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah.
I would imagine that like when you're in a studio and you're paying for studio time and you're under the gun to get shit done, like when the money's running out, that's when the song is done. Like, okay, this day, like we have this many hours, we're going to go until we don't have any more time, and then we're done.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, if you're doing it yourself, how the fuck do you know when it's done? Like I draw, I play. How I could go forever.
I said that there was no deadline, but there was kind of a deadline.
Okay.
Like we wanted it to be done by like around the end of last year.
So that's kind of the double-edged sword there. Like you can have the deadline in the studio where you're paying for your time, and everyone is like on the edge of their seat, ready to go. And you can kind of have the and there's, you know what I'm saying, like the opposite of that is doing it yourselves, and there's definitely positives and negatives to it. But I think we're pretty good at making sure that we're getting our stuff done. And like I think that's the thing about us is nobody wants to sit there and do 50 takes of the same song, because we don't have the patience for that.
No, we really don't.
And that's our TikTok brain, but like we're just like, all right, honestly, that's good enough. Let's move on. And I think one thing that was beneficial is a lot of the songs that are on this album, not every song, but a lot of the songs are songs that we have played before.
Yeah.
So we know when it's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As in like some of the songs on this album are like 4 years old.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay.
Only some of them. But then actually like a good chunk of them also are like a few months old.
Yeah.
Like we record like for maybe one or two of the songs, we recorded the whole thing before we ever played it live.
Right. And the thing is, people that have not seen us live or haven't paid attention won't know these songs nearly as well as the ones on our first album. So it feels like it's a new album. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely stuff. But it's hard for a band at our level to get in the studio because you don't have the funding or the resources quite yet.
Yeah.
So we were like, this is a way of us getting around that while still being able to put like quality content out there. And I should say too that we tracked an entire album and then almost another entire album too. So we haven't released that or mixed that yet, but that's like in the can. So
yeah, I think I ended up having like 24 songs and we've used 12 of them. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh shit! So you're locked and loaded for another one. You just got to get down and mix it. And
it's coming soon.
oh shit!
Coming soon.
Wow,
yeah.
guys.
You being in the Northeast, we noticed something. So living out here on the West Coast, there are a lot of bands, local bands, and a lot of really good talent out here. But there's a challenge especially where we live, for younger bands to be able to make money touring because it's so far between cities, right? Like you got to drive 8 hours south or more to get to California, and then you're only in Northern California from where we're at in Portland, Oregon. And the only city north of us, big city, is Seattle. So you can get big in the scene up here, but it's difficult to break out of that because of money, right? But in the Northeast, I noticed that there's a lot of bands and it's easy for you guys to go to a lot of cities and get a bigger fan base quickly. More people know about you because of the ease of touring around that. And I'm just curious, like when you're in that and you're trying to rise above and there's a lot of bands out there, how are you distinguishing yourselves? Like what's the thing that you're doing that's like making you rise above?
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil Story Made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
It's a hard question.
I love
think
those that look to each other. That was great. That said it all.
You want to answer it, or should we tell them our formula? I think, honestly, if I'm, I really think we're just doing our thing. Like, I think we have enough faith in the music, and we have enough experience at this point playing live that we've seen it work. Like, we've seen ourselves play to rooms that we've never played to any of those people in that room before, and they get it, and they dance and they have a good time. And it's like, I don't see why that wouldn't work in Pittsburgh. I don't see why that wouldn't work in Providence. So it's like, but I will say, the older I get, the more fortunate I feel that we grew up and are residing in the Northeast, because you're absolutely right. It is the place to be a jam band.
Yeah,
dude.
Wow.
A touring band.
We get jealous of our friends back there where we're like, oh, we're like, for example, Fish Tour, West Coast. We're going to be able to make a couple shows. And they're like, why aren't you going to 14 in a row? Because up there, it's like you just go, oh, I got to drive an hour to the next one, a half hour to the next one, an hour. Like there's so much more access to music and festivals, and college towns also is another thing up there, that there's so many colleges and such a good demographic for it and everything. It just, we get a little jealous of the East Coast sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know.
As you should.
Just talking about moving to Vermont not long ago. Like, that might be cool, man. I don't know.
Yeah. We've discussed the East Coast several times.
Well, Vermont's like the Portland of the East Coast.
Yeah, it does make sense. And they're like, if you look at the map, they're kind of like on the same level.
Yeah, across.
So I just think that with the snow is what would stop us from doing it. I don't know. I just think that, like, in a scene with that many bands, it's a testament to you guys that you're booking shows like Peach. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's got to feel good, man. Because look, let's be honest, there's a lot of musicians out there, and not everybody's getting to play those shows. And so take that, man, and run with it. And I think the answer that you just gave me to the question that I asked really speaks to the heart of the band, because we're not doing anything gimmicky. We're fucking just playing our music, man. And people are responding, and that's what we're into. And that is what it's all about. You said earlier, you guys like the jam band scene, the people that are in it, because they're open-minded. And I'll agree with that musically. Yeah, for the most part. And also, like, I think that the people in this scene also were more forgiving not forgiving. We expect bands to make mistakes. If you listen to the Grateful Dead and you're a Deadhead, you're not listening to the Grateful Dead for polished perfection. You're listening to the Grateful Dead because you love the music and what it feels like.
It's an experience.
Yeah, and when they fuck up, it's great, and we all laugh together, and they continue on. And there's a freedom in the scene to just do your thing, whatever it is, right? And have fun. And have you guys have obviously felt that, right?
Absolutely.
I don't think we've messed up yet.
Yeah.
Right on.
That's a great answer.
No, I totally feel that.
Yeah.
I do think, like, personally, we're always trying to get better at our live show, and I think that with the music we write, technically it sometimes it does take a little bit of diligence, and like, okay, like, we're not just strumming chords here. Like, there's arpeggiated guitar parts and things that require, like, take time on your own, like, learn it, and then we'll go play it live. Mm-hmm. So I do think that this scene accepts the flubs and the flaws, but I think for us in general, like, we tend to approach our music more like a metal band would, in the sense that, like, we're really trying to hit every note. But like, at the same time, when we do pull back and jam, that's when I think it's like, all right, now, like, let's see where we go here.
Mm-hmm.
And people tend to, like, kind of sit up a little bit when you do that, and they're like, oh man, like, this is not written stuff. Like this is kind of off the cuff, and that's exciting for everyone. So I think the jam scene for sure is redeeming in that quality.
That's my favorite shit.
Heading into uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like, it's walking an edge, because it can fucking fall apart. You know what I mean? If you don't know what's going to happen, you're just going for it, and that's exciting. You know what I mean? And I imagine it feels that way, putting together an album of 12 songs and then just releasing it out into the world. Is it ever like, I'm sure it's exciting, but is it ever scary to like put your shit just out there into the world and be ready for all the feedback? Like, I know it is doing this for us sometimes, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this is our second time doing it, and you're asking that question at the perfect time because we're only a few days out. I guess it is scary in a way, but like, I don't know. Like, when I listen to the album, I feel nothing but good things. Like, because I know that we worked really hard on it, and we really like. I listen to it, and I don't, being self-critical artists here. Like, I don't really listen to it and wish we did too much differently on it. It's just really kind of cool. It's really kind of cool as it is. And I know that I feel that way because we spent a lot of time and made a lot of revision to it. And it definitely reached that point where we were like, that's it. Like, this sounds good. We feel very comfortable with this. We feel very proud of this. This was like super self-fulfilling. And yeah, we definitely reached that decision. We were ready to send this out. But going back to your question, am I nervous? Maybe a little bit, but I think people are.
You just seem really prepared.
Yeah,
you seem so prepared, and that is rare. I'll say that. Like you guys said, like you're 7 years old, right? And a lot of the things that you're doing, it seems it's at a higher level than just 7 years old. You guys have and you're young. You're young in earth years, maybe not necessarily musical or spiritual years. I don't know you two that well yet, but you guys are really doing something under 30 that takes a lot of discipline and effort to like move forward, and to be like, it seems to me that you are happy and completely okay with what you're putting out. That attitude in itself is a mature thing. And you guys are really freaking inspiring in that regard. I will say that for this young band under 30 to be crushing it with your discipline to get things out, and then to have the happiness and the we did a good job. That's a big deal. And I just want to throw that out there, because sometimes we overlook small wins in our life, and our small wins in our career, which propel us to greater heights,
Thank you.
That's incredibly kind of you to say.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
It's true though. Well, look, I'm the mom around here. I'm also a grandma, and you are all my kids' ages. I have a 20-year-old son and a 27-year-old daughter, and I know how hard it is when you go out in your own, for whatever platform it is, whatever career. You don't know that you're making the right decisions. You don't know if you can trust your partners yet. You don't know if you should go all in or not. And when you finally decide it, and then you find your people that are doing that with you, that's rare, period. Like any age. I don't care if you're 20s or 50s or whatever, that's rare. But then to have the confidence that you have at this age is something that is inspiring to me at 44 years old, to be like, yeah, like we love each other. Ben's like the youngest guy. He's the dopest guy. Like, this is something that's really, for music fans, generally, that's a really cool thing to hear that confidence at a tender time.
Well, and also I'll add on to that and say, you guys are really fortunate too, to have found your thing. It took me fucking 40 plus years to figure out what my thing was. And it was a really rough road, man. Honestly, it was tough. And yeah, exactly.
Which his thing is doing this.
It's a
That's the name.
bad pun. But it was tough, man. And finding that now at 27 or whatever, like, that's a huge gift. and having the balls to just be like, you know what, we're doing our thing and we put it out and I feel good about it. Like Mel said, that's huge, man.
Mhm.
That's a big deal. And I don't normally do this. You're putting out 12 songs. I'm not going to ask what your favorite song is on the album. Not going to do that. But I am going to ask you this. When we release an episode, after we do our intro, before we go into the interview, we usually play one song, right? And I'll pick, you know, just randomly sometimes or whatever I really like.
The three of us agree on.
But by the time this comes out, your new album will be out. So on the new album, what one song should I play before? And that doesn't mean that that's your favorite. It's the one that you think people should hear first.
Is there a time limit on the song?
No. I've put in like 20-minute songs before. It's no time limit.
Okay. You should just have to play the whole album. God. That's like an impossible.
Well, yeah. Good answer.
Right on, Ian.
What if we had? Is 2 songs out of the question?
No,
I can bookend it. I'll do one before and one after if you want.
What if we did? Oh, one before and after. I don't know if that would work.
Okay. Do you want us to do double in a row?
I can do 2 in a row.
First of all, Ian, there's no format. We create it.
It's me, man.
We make it up.
I make the rules.
What if we did it in first 2 songs? Yeah, intro.
So the first 2 songs actually lead into each other. They're basically one song on 2 tracks.
Okay.
Track 1 is called Intro. Track 2 is the title track, and it's called Fire It Up.
Okay.
I think if you guys played that, it would be awesome.
All right.
Okay.
You got it, man.
I like that. Fire it up right before the interview.
Well,
right on.
I'm just curious about going back too, because we were really excited. Like last year when we got to go to Peach, we were really excited to get invited back, like you guys did as well. Had any of you ever been to the Peach Festival before you played it?
No. What a cool thing.
Growing up, like I said before, my dad is a huge Allman Brothers fan, and he took me and my older sister to like one of their last shows at Beacon Theater back in like 2014. And our good friend Bill is affiliated with the Allman Brothers and with JMO specifically, and that was our introduction to Peach Fest. But before then, like I had listened to like a lot of Allman Brothers and was definitely into that music when I was younger, but none of us had ever been to Peach Fest before. We just knew it was an awesome festival, and we knew what the lineups were. So
you know what, man. Go ahead, Apple. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say that's something we heard when we met up with Patrick and stuff. We knew about Peach Festival, but then we learned more about it being there, and like it's one of the few festivals that it like sells out before the lineup even comes out because everybody knows it's gonna be dope.
That's crazy. That's crazy to me. So we're all going to be there again. Would you guys be down to like do something with us there?
What'd you have in mind?
Something like this, but in front of people.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Like pick up basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball. That would be so dope.
You don't want me to play basketball.
I was gonna ask that too, because from looking at your guys' bios and like Instagram, you guys are definitely into basketball.
Within our whole crew, we have like 4 basketball players, and I'm 6'4". Ben is like 6'3". We both played on the same varsity basketball team, so I'm like 5. Yeah.
When I saw that too,
right.
one of Ben's
all right,
things
Ian, me
is
and
like,
you are against each other. Then we're equal heights, right?
And I love that in Ben's bio.
On a serious note, we would love to do something with you guys.
Yeah, I was thinking like we'll all take a 10 strip. And then just
jump
kidding.
on main stage.
Right before our set.
After your set.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
I have a strict bedtime.
Yeah, me too.
Can Ben really dunk?
Not as well as me.
Oh, okay. Well, when you just said your height and stuff, it's like, okay.
There's going to be heat after this comes out. I can feel it. No,
I think that's in my bio, isn't it? I think my bio says, no, actually, maybe not on the website.
Ben's bio says that he can dunk, and you have a great attribute too, which is that you graduated from the Berklee School of Music. So I mean, that, you know, you want to weigh the two against
It's an academic.
but I can also dunk better than Ben.
Okay.
There you go. Boom.
And
Well,
Ben cannot be here to defend himself.
Just give me a week to do some squats and lose like 10 pounds. I'll be fine.
So last year we were in the lodge and we talked with like Dogs in a Pile and Daniel Donato and Jennifer Hartswick and James Casey
Maggie
and
Rose.
Maggie Rose. And so this year we're either going to be on the Grove stage or in the VIP area where Andy Frasco did his thing last year. And we would love if you guys would come join us for, a half hour or something.
That would be
Would love to.
phenomenal. I
Okay.
think I'm free that day. So
Cool. Yeah. And,
You don't have to wash your hair or anything.
and we'll try and make it so that we don't miss your fucking set this time.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Can we possibly do this in the lazy river?
Oh my gosh, yes.
That would be
That
That
dope.
would be dope.
I don't know if I'm going in that thing, dude. There was some heinous
let's
shit
do it on,
happening
like,
in there.
On Thursday.
Let's do it on the earlier days.
Yeah.
Wait,
Before it's
will
too
you guys be?
tainted.
Will you all be there the whole festival, or just for the day you perform?
Probably the whole time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's the plan right now. That's the plan.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because so I also want to give a shout out to Mint Talent Agency that is our agency, and we recently signed with them, and they're the reason that we're returning to Peach this year. And like
Wow.
those guys are phenomenal people, and like during the pandemic, their whole agency formed because they all got laid off or left their companies and kind of decided to start this amazing agency that really is more about like the community of it than anything else. And like they were like asking us if we wanted to take that whole weekend and just kind of hang out at Peach Fest, and we were like, yeah.
Is that
Oh,
that's
right
Jesse?
on.
Is that Jesse?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Jesse and CJ.
Okay. Yeah, man. They awesome. That's
They've already lined up a really amazing year for us. Just for this year, we're like unannounced stuff, but we are so freaking excited. It's going to be insane. It'd be great.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything you want to shout out?
That's what I was just gonna say. Anything
before
you want-
that is announced that we can let everybody know about.
Yeah.
This will come out in
April.
like what, 3 weeks? 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I can't for sure say what's going to be announced by then, but what's announced now, Pigeons, we're opening for Pigeons at Pigeons playing ping pong at the Brooklyn Bowl on April 15th.
hell yeah.
Wow.
And then I can't say where, but we have a pretty killer spring tour that's going to be announced, and we're doing a residency at Nectar's in Vermont.
Oh shit.
Yeah, as well as a residency at Lark Hall in Albany. So keep an
Wow.
eye out for those dates. Check out our website. All the information's on there.
Where it's just
We're dropping it out.
And
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go listen to our Fire It Up. Yeah.
is it onetimeweekend.com?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the social is the same at One Time Weekend, right?
Yeah.
With Thunderstorm.
Underscores. I
Our
think I
Instagram
had it pulled it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all
One
pulled up
underscore time underscore weekend.
Well, guys,
That's it.
thanks for pulling over and hanging out with us. I appreciate
Anytime,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Congratulations, you guys. I'm really proud of you. Like, what a good,
Oh,
Granny's
seriously, good, what a great job you're doing. I think that you are confident enough to know that you are doing a good job, but just from the outside and another person, I enjoy your music so much. You guys are doing such a great job, and I can't wait to collaborate with you all at Peach.
Yeah.
Sounds wonderful.
It's gonna be
Can't
fun.
wait.
It's good to have you tell Zach and Ben we send our love, and
Yeah.
we'll catch up with
We will.
them at Peach. We always find it fun when we get like one or half of a band, because then the other ones are like, well, what, you guys had a good time without us? Like, and it's like, yeah, you gotta wait and hear it when it comes out, man. It's gonna be 2 or 3 weeks, and it usually
So
builds.
sorry.
It's built excitement before where you immediately have the other like half of a band being like,
Sickard
"Hey,
Hollow.
Can we come on? Like, what
Yeah.
what about us?" So it's super fun.
We should do a follow up with those guys. That would be great.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Just those two.
I'm down.
We
All
will
right.
just that.
Before we leave, guys, what do you think about bluegrass?
Love it.
Love it.
I think bluegrass is one of the most amazing things to ever come out of America.
Wow.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Right on, guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
bluegrass is insanely cool.
Yeah.
That was a weird,
Bluegrass and jazz.
really weird question, Mo.
I was just thinking about it. I wanted to, because that was kind of
Just
one of the
threw it in
music.
there at the end.
Well, we haven't talked about that music at all. I freaking love. It's inspired me to learn an instrument. It's inspired me to pick up the banjo. So I love bluegrass.
Nice.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, there's a lot of I started flat picking last year, and she started learning the banjo. So
Yeah, it's inspiring.
We're taking the show on the road. We're getting the band.
No, we're on the road, but not to play music. No. This is our band. This is it. This is it. It's our medium. All right, guys. Have an awesome weekend.
Have a good day. We'll see you at Peach, man.
You guys too.
Talk to you soon.
See you there, guys. Hope you enjoy the album.
Later.
Hell yeah.
Thanks.
All right. So here's the thing. Right now, the album's out. And you just heard the first 2 songs, everybody. So go download it and play it. And when they come to your town, go see them and buy the merch and do the thing.
Yeah, get your tickets to Peach.
Yeah. I can't believe, like, it really does seem like a week ago that we were like, holy shit, we're going to the Peach Festival. And now it's next year and we're like, holy shit, we're going to the
and then doing it and being like, I hope we feel the way we did really good. I hope they liked it. Are they going to invite us back? And now we're invited back.
Now we
just
know.
like one time weekend.
You know, it's got to be so hard to distinguish yourself.
They look like they didn't have a hard time doing nothing at all.
That's like
those two, their attitude, their look, even the way that they talk, they seem like cool as a cucumber. Whatever they do is hard on the back end, no one will know.
What I mean by that is that you really got to be like on your shit and talented. And that's what I meant when I was like, you know, for you guys to rise above, that's a huge thing because there's a lot of competition out there. And those that are actually like rising to the top of that scene out there are the best of the best.
I feel like, I mean, you're a heady guy.
Am I?
You're very heady.
All right.
You like to ask these kinds of questions that kind of probe deep into people's psyche.
Really?
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. You're always asking those harder questions like, you know, how does it feel to know all these people are staring deep into your, right?
Yeah, you're right?
And after 5.5 years of hearing those questions and hearing the answers, 99% of them don't think that way. And it's to their advantage that they don't.
Well, I think if that was your sole focus when you're putting out art into the world, it would freeze you up. I know it would me.
You can't do that. You can't give yourself such a hang up before you do something so free.
Yeah.
You know, like, you better play every fucking note the best you can. Now go play. What? Like, just by
make one little mistake.
Yeah.
And you're like,
the whole world is watching and waiting to see when, like, if you just pick it up and then like play something gorgeous.
Go do your thing.
That's it. And so I think that that's what most of all of these 99%ers, like I said, have in common is that they're one with their instrument. And I was listening back to an older episode and I had mentioned something that Ross James had said about a good night of music is when their instrument is playing you. And I think that a lot of the musicians, when they're in that zone, there's no thoughts about, does that guy in the first row like it? Or is that girl dancing hard enough? Or no, they're like, there's no thought. There's only connection with that instrument.
And your bandmates.
Yeah. And the crowd, you know?
And that's one thing they're very confident of is their bandmates.
Yeah.
And like we knew it just was right.
I love that. I love that. Those kind of stories where like, yeah, we jammed together a couple times and we just knew. Like, what the fuck? How lucky. You know,
well, but you say that, but it's still really hard to, like, even if you find out what you're going to do, now the road begins of doing it.
Now you got to do
You got to do the thing. That's not the easy part. Like, the discovery of like, oh yeah, you too. Oh, me too. Oh yeah, you. Okay, cool. That's like the easy part. Then it's like, okay, now we got to freaking make it happen. Now we got to practice. Now we got to put out an album. Now we got to tour. Now we got to convince people that we're rad.
Now we got to drive around in a van together.
Now we got to do interviews and pull over on the side of the road and be in haphazard situations.
Yeah.
I could just tell I had to say something.
I saw it.
They were both watching the mirrors and like looking. It's like, are you guys safe, man? Like, Like, don't put yourself in peril because of this. We can wait a minute. You can move. And
so
one thing I love too is like as soon as we came on with, as soon as we saw their faces, which reminded a lot of the younger bands. It makes sense. They're younger. They're up and kind, but the life in their eyes. Their eyes,
they
their
haven't been beaten
eyes,
up by life
yeah,
yet,
their
Apple.
eyes are so full of light, like the window to the soul. You can see their souls,
see right in,
and how crisp and clean they are.
That's what you need. The society needs these young, beautiful, excited musicians ready to go and be confident in their own skills and their friends' skills. Like, that's the kind of revolution musically that we need, is not to, like they said, we didn't spend a lot of time learning covers. We spent time learning our own stuff. That's a whole descent from what a lot of younger bands usually have done, like before them, not the 20-year-olds.
We started playing Rush tunes, and then we figured out we could do our own thing later.
Exactly.
Well, I like what Ian said. He's like, I'm not good at copying shit. That's why I'm so good at my own.
It's funny, man.
It makes sense. And I love, like Aaron, you pointed out several times when we do have conversations that like this younger generation, they've had so much.
Their palette is bigger.
Yeah, it's so bad, and they bring it all with them. And like these guys said, they're not copying them and stuff, but you hear all those inklings of influence so beautifully brought into their own thing that they cooked up.
Yeah,
and you hear those little things here and there, and it's comforting, and it's also dope to hear it in a new way.
It really is, to hear a younger version of how someone else's ears are trained. Because look, he went to Berkeley Music. The musical education that you get from that, and then to apply that to your own ideas, that's something very special.
Yeah. I wish that 16-year-old me would have had his head on straight, but it is what it is.
You don't like your life right now? You hate it?
I
you
love
want
my
a different
life. I would just love
do it all over.
I would
want to ditch me and Mel.
Yeah, I wish you would have not married young. I wish I would have had a.
Can I finish what I was going to say?
Yeah, you can now. It's had bust balls.
Yes.
I would love to understand music like that. I would love to now understand theory and all that, and be able to apply that to my life now. That would be fucking sick. And to have the musical education like that, and just go out into the world like with all the colors in the paintbrush and ready to go, and find other people that have their brushes loaded too, and they're ready to go with you, and just start doing the thing. Like, that's so exciting.
Yeah. Well, like Adam just said, the excitement of getting to be this album, their sophomore effort, they did it all themselves. He mixed it. To be able to do that's amazing feat on its own.
You know how when you have an avatar, you can put blue shoes and you can change it to purple and see what the green ones look like. Wouldn't it be cool to be able to be have an album be like, this is how it sounds like when we did it. This is how it sounds like when this producer came on. This is how it sounds like when it was polished. That'd be kind of fun.
This is what it sounds like live.
Yeah.
That would be cool. If you want to hear what it sounds like live, go see them play.
Hell yeah.
And like we said,
go support these awesome guys that are giving it all that they have.
And we're going to get to hang out with them in Peach.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Super.
So let's see. It's Friday today. So we will be back on Monday with more stuff and things. And until then, what do?
Listen to One Time Weekend.
Take care of each other.
Have a drink of fresh spring water.
Love yourself so you can love others.
Smile at a stranger.
Give yourself a little facial.
Safety third. And hydrate. Yeah, that was the other one.
Hydrate's a very important thing.
Try not to eat any canned food this week. Just try and just do a little more fresh as you go into your week and see what it feels like. I don't know. Just give it a shot. See what happens.
No gas station sushi.
No
dwellers of fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Hi, this is Henry Kay, host of the #1 music history podcast, Rootsland. Come with me on a journey to Kingston, Jamaica, where we explore the world of reggae music and the untold stories of some of the genre's greatest legends. From the ghettos and tenement yards where the music was born, to the island's iconic recording studios. We are so excited to team up with Osiris Media, the leading storyteller in music, because as you'll hear, sometimes the story is the best song.